Welcome to my channel, AquaStarGoddess. If you are new here, definitely subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. And certainly smash the like button. So, my question for tonight, I'm going to make this video a quick video. It's not going to be long because I don't want to be on here long. But I know that, with the political climate that was going on, there have been a lot of varying different emotions. I really don't think as overall, like as a collective overall, we've been fearful, but I do think that there may be a couple of people out there that may have very powerful energy that are feeling fearful or concerned about the things that are going on. So I'm here to ask you, are you afraid? Are you concerned about the direction in which things are going? How are you yourself feeling about how things are looking, how things are feeling, how things are going, etc.? And let's have a conversation surrounding that, because ultimately I really want you to be prepared for more, right? Like, because like we know that there's been like this rage bait. We know that there has been a lot of instigating and there's been a lot of hazing almost, or there's been a lot of blame and finger pointing and a lot of attempts at destabilizing public or specific opinions about specific groups of people. And we know that there's been a lot of people that have been attacking specific groups of people, high energy, high vibing groups of people, right? And so, while we went through that, and we went through this whole period where, there was a lot of confidence, I think, on the other side of the coin about the direction of this whole election thing. And they had confidence because of all of those attacks that went down. Because they were betting that those attacks would cause some sort of shift energetically in the group of people. So ultimately, I just want to say that, I hope that you're keeping your equilibrium. I hope that you're not allowing fear to get to you and to expand. Because ultimately, this is about energy and vibrations and frequency. And your energy, your vibration, and your frequency really can make things happen quite differently than they have been happening, right? And you can even see it, like where, there was some sort of anticipation that there was going to be like an overall downfall of our community, and people were using like the DEI conversation. They were using, like discrimination topics, and using it to like isolate a specific group of people. And while it looked like that should have worked, ultimately what we found was all of those tactics and those methods began to backfire because the system worked really well, right? The system we've been systemically placed outside of all of the benefits that others are able to use to get ahead, to build, to do these things, right? However, there's been this facade that specific programs like the DEI program specifically, just for an example, was, for a specific group of people, only to find out that it really wasn't benefiting us that much at all. So what we find is that the very system that was put into place the way in which that system has always worked, which is the way in which we always knew it worked, and we pointed out that it has always worked, we find that this system has now worked too damn well. Okay, the system worked too damn well. And while they were attempting to cause a, us harm, ultimately they ended up shooting their own foot. Okay, shooting yourself in the foot because you are trying to punish a group of people that actually don't deserve to be punished. That actually they've already received all of this treatment that you're trying to bring down on them. So you're trying to rain down something that you think is new, and it's not new. It's things that we've been dealing with so long that what you're doing now ain't nothing. That's just, it's really nothing. But the groups of people that were not anticipating, I think they were anticipating damages to themselves, but they didn't realize that it was going to be as much damage. And they also didn't realize that, see, I think what they thought was that we were going to be in such a panic, that we were going to be so like frazzled that it was going to hit us. And you know what I mean? But ultimately what ended up happening was we already know what was going down. Like we saw this all happening. We basically just read the whole playbook. And so this whole video ultimately, hey Jeff, how's it going? This whole video ultimately is just about, it's just amazing how things turn out. So what I want you to also realize is that a part of the reason why things have played out the way that they have played out is because of that level of knowing that we've had, because we were already in the position of knowing, okay, if they doing this and this and this is happening, then we already know this and this and this is going to happen. So we already know their playbook for real. Like in reality, we already know the playbook. We already know how things are going to go down. So if we continue to stay in that knowing, standing grounded, 10 toes down, we are actually going to come out of this on top and in very good positions. I'm doing good. Thank you. So I think that, I just want to ensure that, I know that there are a lot of threatening things going on out there, like threatening to release a murderer, these threats to dismantle all of these programs, which they have dismantled. But what we find is that didn't really help us anyway. So like we can't, we every which way we turn, or they turn really rather, every which decision they're making, it's really only blowing up in their faces because we not new to this. We not new to this game. Like we've been dealing with this game for thousands of years. So when you think that we don't know what's going on, we definitely know what's going on. And the fact that we are able to now fully see, this whole time period was really just a complete reveal, completely removing of the veil, complete reveal of exactly how far we have not come, right? Like while we've all been under this sort of facade that we've come so far and everything, this is just a show of how much progress was really not made, right? Like how much progress actually wasn't made is what we're seeing. But it gives us a better understanding on how to proceed and how to move forward. Because now that we're very clear on who stands where you stand, where y'all stand, there's no more amounts of media that you can use to put another wool over our faces or over our eyes. There's no more sheeps in wolf. There's no wolves in sheep clothing that can come to us and present any type of look out the thing.
Well, the door's open, so.
Who is it?
There's nobody out there.
Then lock the door. There's no amount of Y'all get away from the door. Unless you see your dad, get away from the door. So unless you like, not unless anything, there's just really no amount of wool over the eyes that can be pulled. There's nothing that they can do that we are not fully aware of. There's no move they can make on the board, right? Because you got to think about it. For 2,000 plus years, we've been studying the board, right? They've been playing this game, and we've been studying the board. There's no move you can make now that I can't see what move you're making, that I can't understand what direction you're going in, that I can't call the next move that you make. So that's the place that we're in right now. So I just want to make this video just to kind of remind you, and to remind everybody that you know the next moves. You know the moves that will be made. You know things that, you know what people are going to be doing and how they're going to be acting and behaving. So anticipate those moves while also being grounded in how you are going to present for the future. And what I mean by that is that it's just time for you and me and all of us to just be real grounded about what we are going to create for our future. Because what they are very accustomed to doing is using these methods and these tactics to shift your energy so that you can align with a lower vibration, so they can siphon your energy to use it to create what they want to create. But if you are in control of your own energy, if you are in control of the direction of where you are going to place your focus, if you are focusing on the things that are going to be important for you to create for your life, and you're aware of that, then there's not a lot that they can actually do to take from you, okay? So some of the really important sayings that I want you guys to just get really comfortable with is I call my energy back to me with divine care, cleansed and purified for me to use for my greatest, highest benefit. And I send back all energy that does not belong to me, negative or otherwise, to be used and as intended for the recipient as it was intended for me. That's something simple there. The next thing I want you to be clear about as well is clear about setting the intentions on how things are going to happen for you. This is a time period where I'm going to benefit from all of the negative things that are happening, okay? How we speak, how we think, the things that we say, the things that we feel, how we allow ourselves to vibe is really going to be very important. And people will do so many things to try to make sure that they can continue to keep you in a low vibration. And you, as exhibited by what's been going on in the media with this whole debacle, right? As exhibited by that, they've gone so far as to say, oh, we're gonna release and pardon a guy who was clearly a murderer. Okay, like, right, like, okay, it's just amazing. It's like you're gonna go so far to show how corrupt you are because you want to control someone else's energy. And that's literally what we've been dealing with as a collective for a very extremely long time. The next thing I want you to be very mindful and aware of, and this is something that while I understand we all have our beliefs and all that, and yeah, but one of the things that often happens when we start to become higher vibing, frequency is raised, when we start to become more aware, more woke, they always have to throw some Christianity out there, okay? And they use the Christianity as a weapon against you to keep you docile, okay? So we've seen little like campaigns of Christianity being thrown out there. We saw that with B. Simone a couple months back, where she was like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that with the Christianity or whatever. Understand that that was a part of the campaign. What?
You know why the cops were knocking at the door? Were they knocking on all the doors? Or?
I don't know what the cops want. They don't want nothing here. Yeah, so no. So So anyway, they continue to, it's like try to grab at, pull at your energy, right? And they do it in so many ways. Now, if we look back, hey Delaquasia, how you doing, babe? If we look back, just look back at history, right? And remember how they say, or used to say, that in Rome, they had the Colosseum, right? And that's when they would have the gladiators come out and fighting, right? And that was how they kept the people's attention. And while they kept the people's attention with the gladiators in the Colosseum, they was in the back doing all sorts of shit, you know, in the government. And that's basically what they're doing. They've been doing that here with us, except nowadays we have way more things to distract us and way more things to keep us busy. So, I mean, it's amazing. And I can sit here and think about like just the male-female gender wars, the television, the internet, you know, social media, you know, celebrity. All of those things are just complete distractions, like each and every one of them, which is why on my last live, I was trying to tell you guys, you know, it's always a good idea to take some time to detox from those things from time to time. It's always a good idea to clear your mind, to cleanse your mind, to cleanse your mental space, to cleanse your emotional space. All of those spaces need to be cleansed from time to time, because if we're constantly just consuming, you know, it can distract us from what we really need to be focused on. Okay. And ultimately, all of these tactics and things and methods are just distractions to keep you from being able to focus on the things that you want to or should be creating and manifesting for yourself in your life. Okay. So I hope one of the most important things, though, is making sure that you don't allow yourself to sit down and weigh down in the energy of fear or whatever. Like, if you are finding yourself that all of this stuff is causing you fear and you're feeling afraid, then you need to start figuring out, okay, ways that you can counter the things that are going on, or how you think those things might impact you, right? Because we can all decide how we think what's happening might impact us. And when we do that, we can say, okay, I think this might impact me like this, this, and this. And then what I need you to do is create a counter. Okay. You know how somebody sues you and then you you send out a counter suit like that, you know? So I need you to find ways to counter what you think the fallout or the outcome is going to be. And that's going to create the solution for you. If you are able to focus on the solution to the problem, you can't focus on the problem. Okay. Because remember, what you focus on grows. What you're thinking about the most, that's what's going to manifest into your life. What you're saying the most, that's what's going to come about. So that's important as well to keep in mind. So what else is there? There's so much, you know, like I think ultimately, you know, just making sure that you're maintaining your focus on the things that are important, or the things that you want to create in your life, is going to be major. It's going to be really big. Okay. So yeah, I guess that's it. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or anything you want to tune in on it, on anything? Let me know now. But in the meantime, I really just wanted to share just a little quick word, because I know there's been a lot of shifts and changes. And keep in mind, we do have a lunar eclipse coming up in a couple days. Okay, so just know that that is obviously going to shake some shit up. So just be prepared, be ready. Know that it is going to happen. Find ways to keep yourself or get yourself grounded. Grounding is going to be important. Also know that this might be a little bit of a time for like some awakening as well. So yeah, there's a couple things that I probably will come back in a few days, talk to you guys about as it relates to this eclipse that is coming up. But, you know, for me personally, I've seen a little bit of shift. Like I noticed that some things happen around here, and I just kind of notate things mentally and keep mental notes about stuff. And then kind of like watch the things that happen and how things maneuver and how things change or shift in life. So I did notice a couple of things happened as a result of other things. I will say this. I also like just suddenly stopped drinking and smoking, like just suddenly just stopped doing those things, which is a good thing, really good thing. So if you're noticing changes like that for yourself, then don't fight the funk. You know what I mean? Like if something is good for you and you just automatically changing, let it happen. Like don't fight that, because it could be a protection for you, as I feel it was a protection for me. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. I don't think there's a lot that I really need to say tonight. Just protect yourself, keep yourself in positive high vibes, frequency, focusing on the things that are going to bring you happiness, the things that you would like to create in your life, kind of like that. Like, you know, stay focused on those things, and you know, try not to let the foolishness going on out there in the world get you off your game or keep you off your game, right? Because sometimes things may happen, things might occur, and it's like, damn, right? Like even me, like a few within the last week, 2 weeks or so, like I noticed like certain things got me off my game, and I'm like, shit. But I get an opportunity again to try again, you know, and sometimes it's difficult because sometimes it's like, oh, you want me to spaz. Yeah, you want me to crash out, I see, right? And so sometimes you want to crash out, right? And sometimes crashing out is exactly what's needed. Like sometimes it's needed, but sometimes it's not. And like I said, it's just to keep you in a lower vibration. It's just to keep you from being able to elevate. It's just to keep you from being able to expand. And sometimes those things are very intentional, which is, you know, as you know, I was using in the example earlier about how there's a lot of rage bait going on out there right now. And it's intentional. You know, we got to know that it's fucking intentional. Okay. And if they're doing this intentionally, we have to start thinking about why. Like, why would they do that? Like, what is the intention here? And the intention is to keep you from being able to focus on creating for yourself, creating good things for you, so that so that your energy can be, you know, used, siphoned, vamped for other people to use for their benefit, you know? So just be mindful of that, you know? Just be aware of those things there. Okay, so I think that's it for me. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys have had a wonderful week, wonderful day, all that good stuff, wonderful Monday. I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you can get notifications when I upload a new video. And obviously, once again, smash that like button. Bye.